And we're back. Please tell me Zach still doesn't sound robotic.
I swear, if I sound like a freaking robot,
Okay, go ahead and let us know.
oh my
Well, I
god.
guess I gotta refresh the stream here.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, he said it's good.
We're good? Oh my lord.
Wait, let's see. Let's give it another second.
I don't,
Actually, I don't think it's come back online.
yeah, it's not, I don't see it online, but people are still
People are
chatting,
chatting.
right?
I guess we're live though.
Are we live? Like, can you y'all confirm that, like, we're back?
Oh
Because I
yeah,
don't,
yeah. It looks like we are.
really? I am not seeing
Yeah,
that.
it's actually not loading for
Live
me
again?
either. But
Okay, so I guess, I mean, we don't really need, I mean, we kind of do if audio
cool.
starts to message again.
Yeah. So apologies for those past 25 minutes of having to deal with some significant technical errors. Zach sounded like a robot for a while, and we needed to fix it.
I
Um,
promise, I'm human.
we're Gucci now. So yeah, we're using this whole new setup because Google canceled their Hangouts on Air service. So I got OBS and Zoom and like Audio MIDI player and like 5 other applications running right now. So actually, it's eating through my battery, even though my computer's plugged in. So it's pretty crazy. But we're back. This is the official stream, and Zach and I are here to talk about some Nintendo. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream, or if you're watching the archive, thank you for watching anyways. And grab a snack, turn on your favorite game, and listen to us chat about some Nintendo. It should be fun.
Yeah, should be fun. Should be good fun.
All right, so yeah, welcome Zach. He and I put together this whole kind of list of some things to go over, games, announcements, that sort of thing. Zach, do you want to just kind of like go down the list?
Uh, yeah, sure. And there's actually something I wanted to add onto the list. So if you want,
Cool.
you can start talking about the first point while I add it on.
Okay, sure. So the first point we kind of got here, again, we just kind of put this list together of recent Nintendo events to talk about. And then if you guys ask us questions in the chat, we'll answer it throughout and that sort of thing. But it's pretty laid back and casual. Switch Lite. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about because for those of you who saw my recent video, I purchased my own Nintendo Switch Lite, which may or may not have been a dumb decision given I already own a Switch and it costs money. But you know what? I wanted to see what it's like. And I got to admit, I'm really surprised with how it feels and how much I've been enjoying playing it. It is a it's not necessarily a I don't like to think of it as a smaller switch. It's more of a more compact switch. There's a lot of kind of useless space that I didn't really realize was there in the original Switch model that has been minimized or just completely removed with the Switch Lite. Well, for example, like there's an entire chunk of space at the bottom of each Joy-Con where there's no buttons or anything. And again, like it totally looks fine, and we've been used to it for the past whatever 2.5 years. But like having played the Switch Lite, I'm starting to realize it really is just a very compact version of that. So that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on it a little more in depth. And then Zach, I know you might want to talk some about it too, and maybe ask me some questions about what it's like as well, or any of you guys too. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll start off with something we actually did technically talk about before the stream. But one, so like obviously I don't have the Switch Lite. I'm kind of too poor at the moment, so I'm just kind of living with the Switch. But one thing I've always found odd about this, well, not odd, but like something like after playing it for a while, because the Switch has a little bit of heft to it. Like it's not heavy, like you're not gonna like break a bone if you drop
Yeah.
it on your foot or anything, but it's like, it's got some heft to it. So the Switch Lite, how does it? I mean, I know it light is in the name, but I mean, like, how does it feel in terms of like being able to hold it for a while and like,
Yeah. So the lightness, or I guess like the weight or the lack of weight, is honestly the coolest thing about this system, and it's tough to really describe because you can't really explain how weight feels. And actually, the normal Switch, has never really had an issue with weight for me, or at least I've never noticed it. It's always kind of felt okay. Still not light, but it's never really bothered me. So playing with the Switch Lite, actually in my unboxing video, I was trying to like say how I felt about it, how it felt to hold, and I couldn't really quite put it together because it wasn't occurring to me in the moment that the reason it feels so great is because it's so light. And I know that's so bizarre because light is in the name, but I just wasn't thinking about that because like it's smaller and it looks cool, but you forget the fact that it actually is way less heavy too, which has a much bigger impact, I think, than like it's easy to. I think it's easy to kind of forget how big of an impact that can have. So it is really light.
Yeah. JJ asks if we're going to be getting Ring Fit Adventure. We're actually going to be talking about
We
that.
are, yes, that's a topic.
Our thing. So we will be talking about that later in the stream. So stay tuned.
Oh yeah.
So I guess another thing that makes you curious because I've not seen the Switch Lite in person, so I have no clue how big or small it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Can it fit in your pocket?
I tested this out with multiple pairs of pants. Actually, I each day I've worn a new pair of pants to see which pockets it would fit. It fits better than the normal Switch, and I've been able to fit the normal Switch into my pocket a couple times when I was really desperate. I don't know when I didn't have my I put it in the back pocket of like jeans or something, and it sort of fits. But if you don't accidentally sit down while you're doing that because you're screwed. Yeah, so the Switch Lite, it definitely fits in your pocket, but not definitely, but it can certainly fit better in pockets than the normal Switch. I wouldn't recommend it, though, because just get a $10 carrying case, because it's so much safer and more reliable, I think. Yeah.
Let's see. Caesar Story asks, what do we think about Link's Awakening? Again, we'll talk about that. I think that's actually one of the last points we'll cover today.
Do you guys like the 3DS? We don't have anything about the 3DS, actually, that we're going to talk about.
No, but we'll answer this question, I guess. Sure. Yes, you can go first.
Short answer, yeah. I love the 3DS. I think it's a great system. I was actually one of the people who bought it when it first came out, when it first released for whatever, like $200 before the big price drop or whatever it was. It was like really high for the time, and I still bought it when it first released. And I was pretty young too. I was probably like 9 or 10. So I've kind of like been with it ever since it began, and it's been pretty cool seeing the library grow because for a while it was good, but the library wasn't excellent. And I think by this point, it really has built up an incredible library of first and sort of third, but especially first-party games, in my opinion, that I really love. Games like Super Mario 3D Land. I liked Super Mario 3D Land at the time. Didn't really like World because I didn't think that worked as well on a home console experience. But like I thought 3D Land was fine for being on a handheld. I honestly think that's a great game. Mario Kart 7, I think it's a perfect example of a solid Mario Kart experience. Not necessarily much more than that, but I think it's a good game on its own. I loved Pilot Wings or Pilot Wings 3D. That was like a launch title, and it was so good. So anyways, I really love the 3DS. That being said, I think it's pretty close to its death, or I guess I think the 3DS is kind of done for in terms of big new games, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I will hold it near and dear to my heart for the rest of time.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I got it when it first came out as well. I was like 13 or 14 or something like that. And I also really like the game lineup, like Super Mario 3D Land. Oh my god, I actually really did like that game. I thought it was perfect for a handheld Mario game. Even this is the only time you hear me say this, but even Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, when I first played it, I was like, I was like, it's not bad. It's not bad for a handheld, and that's all its problems, but that's another point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The 3DS, at this point, it's like a grandpa to me. I want it to lie and rest and have its eternal sleep. It's had a great life. It's done a lot of great things, but the Switch is in now. The Switch Lite is out now. And now you have a really affordable, portable option. I mean, only $50 more than the 2DS XL.
Wow, that's true.
So it's like, it's right in there. So I think 3DS can sleep peacefully now.
It's
drift off to the sunset.
Yes, it's had a wonderful life, but it's time, I think, for that life to end. Yeah. Sounds very sad, but that's our answer to your question. Great question.
Yeah.
Let's see. Think we covered the Switch Lite enough?
Yeah.
Talk a whole lot about it.
I don't know what there really is to talk about the Switch Lite.
Yeah. I mean, it's a new it's a new iteration of the Switch. It's a little smaller. It feels good. It's light. Um, yeah. I mean, or I think I've been doing the thing where I keep my old Switch at home now and use it docked, kind of like a home console standard, like a stationary home console. Then I take my Switch Lite with me to go. And a lot of people have said that it seems complicated with cloud save and all that sort of thing, but I've actually found it to be pretty simple because your Switch at home is constantly connected to the internet, meaning it's constantly backing itself up or collecting all the backed up data from the cloud. So it's pretty seamless, honestly. But I've only done that with Link's Awakening, and I know a lot of games don't or won't support the cloud save option anyways, which really stinks. So that's a problem I'm going to face down the line in terms of deciding which Switch to use for those games. Like Animal Crossing, I'll probably do that with my home, like my big Switch. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think Animal
that's another thing.
Crossing. Yeah, because the Animal Crossing is one of those games that you would want on
That
both
makes
systems.
Yes, I know that makes me so angry. Yeah,
Like, Luigi's Mansion or like Splatoon, one thing. But I think, to me, I think Pokemon and Animal Crossing are the two big ones that you would want on both systems.
yeah, for sure.
But you know,
Because
what
I
do you
think
know?
Pokemon and Animal Crossing, I think they serve. I haven't played a lot of Pokemon myself, but like from what I know, I think they serve as great like home console sit down like long play session experiences as well as like more pick up and go. Like they kind of fill both of those niches a bit. I mean, most games could by a certain logic, but yeah, so
Yeah.
that's that.
Um, anything
Cool.
else we go on to before we go on to the next point?
I think we're good. I think we can. Something I'm actually thinking about doing is like right now. So my computer is like slowly going down in percent, even though it's plugged in. I just have all these applications running. So I might try something where I have it plugged in, but I might go grab my Switch charger and plug it into another port to see if it like double charges it. Is that a bad idea?
You're gonna make more technical issues for us, but I
I
mean,
know I probably will.
but I mean, if it works.
Or we could just like power through the rest of this quickly, but I don't know how much longer I have. I've like turned my brightness down. I've done everything I can, but it's just like eating up so much. Should I do that? Should I try
I mean, it's up to you, man. It's your computer.
it? I'm just worried about the stream. My computer will be fine. It wouldn't affect the stream, right?
I don't think so. I mean, the only thing that would affect the stream is if you lose internet or my mic goes over a body again, and hopefully neither of those happen if you plug
Yeah.
in your computer.
Okay. Well, Zach, go ahead and tell a story. I'm gonna go across the room and grab the charger.
All right, I got you. So, for those of you who were here earlier when we were having the technical difficulties, I was starting to tell a story when I was muted. I saw a dog today. I was walking. I went to the fitness center at my college, and I was walking back, and I saw a student college girl get into the back of her mom's SUV, and I was like, that's really weird. And I saw that the front seat was not occupied by a sibling of the person, but a dog. So I thought it was funny that the person was getting picked up from college, could not get the front seat, but the dog did. I don't know. That's something I thought was funny today. Do you guys have any funny stories? Or we wait for Chris to get back? It's gonna be really, really awkward before he does. Um. So there's your story time with ZakPak. Oh, he's back. Never
Hey, I'm
mind.
back. All
Welcome
right.
back.
How was it? How was the story?
I mean, I expanded on that dog story that I was starting to tell earlier, so I think it's probably a pretty good story.
Cool. So what is next? The charger actually fell. Got it now.
Oh, JJ said he got his sister a Switch Lite for her birthday. That's nice.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Congrats to
By the
your
way,
sister.
before we move on,
Yes.
we'll judge you for your color choice, though.
Oh,
I will completely judge you for choosing gray.
why though? I get the appeal of turquoise and yellow, but I also don't think gray is like bad.
You know what though? I rank the colors. I think yellow. I don't know why yellow is like a color of a system. Like I don't know. Like
Oh, like you think yellow's not good?
yeah, yellow.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yellow just seems like a weird color to do.
I agree. I don't know. Wait, why didn't they just do red and blue? Because that's like the Switch's kind of
I
that's
don't
the
know. It
Joy-Con.
in red or blue, or like maybe a different fun color, like purple or
Yeah, they should have gone like completely different with it. Like
Yeah,
ignored the
purple,
blue and red
green.
instead of like doing
Yeah.
blue and yellow, which is weird. Yeah, like what could have what if they did just a white one?
Oh, white would have been nice. Probably would have gotten ugly over time, but I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
so I think it would have been cool. So I think gray is a mandatory color. Like as much as I want to crap on it, it's mandatory.
You
It's
gotta
gray.
have it.
It's basic, you know.
I like the
You
gray
gotta
because
have
of
it.
yeah, I like the gray because of the contrast between the white colors and then the gray of the system, which is a pretty dark shade of gray. So I like that. Like makes the white buttons really pop and joysticks. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot there's white buttons on. Okay, yeah, that makes the gray more
It's
appealing.
cool.
Then, so yeah.
All right.
What's our next topic?
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh boy.
Perfect time for the latest question we got in the chat.
Oh. Curious about your opinions on the music. All right, I'll cover that first, and then we'll go into the actual topic.
Cool.
Music. I'm disappointed that we haven't heard like the actual like Luigi's Mansion theme yet. Like I'm one of those people that's like, you know, like when you think of a series of games, you think of like music. Like with Mario, it's like, you know, like or like it depends. Like in New Super Mario Brothers, like you used to like the ba, ba, you know, the very upbeat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then like Legend of Zelda, you're used to like the high orchestrated. And then Luigi's Mansion, you used to kind of, you know, even with the second game. So I don't know. Music is just a whole other weird. But yeah, so with Luigi's Mansion 3, we're gonna be talking about our feelings towards the game and the biggest things we're excited for. And he typed this up, so I added, of course, me and my negative self, which you guys love. I put worries.
Yeah. So I wrote out, I was like, Zach, you can make any adjustments to this if you want, add anything. So I said, Luigi's Mansion 3, discuss how we're feeling towards the game, the biggest things we're excited about, etc. And then and then you put parentheses and worries.
And worries.
So, but that's honestly pretty fair. So I'll say right off the bat, I've been trying to keep myself kind of away from, push like new Luigi's Mansion information away. Besides what we got in the latest Direct earlier this month, and then also E3, and whatever came before that. Basically, ever since E3, besides the Direct, I've really been trying to shield myself away because I really want to be surprised, because I have a lot of high hopes and expectations for the game, and I don't want anything to be, you know, deteriorated at all before I just get to play the game myself. Not saying that I think like any of the footage will make me, you know, dislike the game, but just I really want to have like an open mind and a fresh opinion with it. So I don't have a whole lot else to say besides I love the original. I actually just played through the first like hour or so of it again yesterday. And I'm excited for what's to come, but I'm trying to not know a whole lot so I can have a fresh mind going in.
Yeah.
You're like, about that.
Okay, so wait. So I don't want to say too much because obviously you're trying to stay away. I don't want to reveal too much to you. So you did say that you did see the not E3, the latest Nintendo Direct trailer, right?
Yes, and it's fine if you want to, like, if you, it's fine. I think it's honestly mostly just how the game looks.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll keep the things that you probably haven't seen to a minimum, but I'll say very generic, broad things.
Cool.
Things I'm personally excited about. I think the design for human ghosts, I love them. I love all the designs that they've shown for each of the human portrait ghosts.
Cool.
I think they did a really good job, at least for the ones we've seen. So that's really exciting. I'm presuming you've seen like at least some of them. Like
yeah, so I saw the one, the movie director one. I've seen that.
I'm sure it tickled your fancy.
Oh yeah, I love that. I'm a big movie guy. Let's see. I'm gonna turn the brightness down real quick. That'll probably help preserve battery. So I definitely know what you're talking about, and I agree. I love how those ghosts are looking.
Yeah. Let's see. Visually, I think the game, like, I mean, night and day from the reveal trailer, like so much better. Like,
oh yeah, dude, that reveal trailer, I was really not like freaking out, but it didn't look good.
Yeah, it did not look good. Like
it was terrible.
The textures look easy, looks kind of mushy.
Yeah.
Like
Sorry.
I don't know how to describe it. Like he looked like he was just like squishing.
No, and like the mixture of like primary colors and like it didn't work. It was clear it hadn't been touched with like a fine tooth kind of comb. All that's pretty much gone away though. Like it looks miles better. The shading is another big thing that's really improved.
Yeah, the lighting in general, like even though I still complain about the game being too bright in areas, which is something I won't talk about here because a lot of people hate that, but I think that like how like for example, right, when Luigi's walking down the hallway and you can see like the light shining in from the moon from the outside and you can see the window.
I love that through the windows.
Yeah, that was really cool, and like the shadowing, like that looks really really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love how the hallway stuff looks, especially from what I've seen.
Yeah, the hotel hallways, like I mean, to me, the hotel. I don't know why the hotel is the one that that I like the most.
Yeah,
personally, because like the attraction floors, aka like the Tomb one, like Tomb Suites, the desert kind of themed one. That one didn't appeal to me that much.
Yeah, I did see that. I'm not. So yeah, I want to preface this by just saying like I'm so excited for this game and I'm everything. But I'm not a huge fan of like when they're taking the things and just making entire new like worlds out of them in a sense. Like you got this whole desert thing and you got this whole kind of jungle thing. Actually, isn't there like a jungle forest kind of one?
Yeah, so that one they dived into a lot on that one. So you probably didn't see like every single.
I think I liked that one. I don't know, but like the whole desert thing just kind of reminds me of like the typical kind of desert world that's reused in so many Mario games, like how that's such a normal theme by this point. And I'm sure they're going to do creative things with it. I'm sure we've already seen creative things they're doing with it that I haven't seen, but I'm just a little skeptical about that part of it.
Yeah, for me, like that area was one of my weakest because of the fact that at that point it doesn't like when you go into that area. Even to some extent, there was like the pirate restaurant they also showed off. I like that area thematically.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel like you're in a mansion. It doesn't feel like you're
exactly.
In, like, the garden floor does because like still got the staircases and the rooms and everything. It's still part of the hotel.
Yes, yeah.
The movie studio does. So there's a lot of rooms that do feel like it's still part of the tower. But like when you go into the like Tomb Suites and all that, you just kind of take it out of the feeling that you're actually in this giant tower.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be okay as long as it has those rooms or floors that are more like closely tied into the hotel theme. I think it'll be cool for it to kind of branch off and do interesting things every once in a while. But it's just like if the whole game turned into like, it's this hotel that's just, it almost would feel like they're opening it up too much in terms of like the boundaries of the game's like theme. Like I still want it to feel contained in a sense. Like that's what I love about the first game. Like the rooms there were different types of rooms and everything, but it wasn't like, whoa, all of a sudden there's like, a tropical room. Like everything, it was still very much like, it stuck to the theme of Haunted Mansion. And so as long as it still overall centralizes itself around that hotel theme, I think it'll be okay for it to kind of branch off at different times and do something really unique with it.
Yeah, and I think even if it doesn't stick to the hotel theme, like something I've been thinking with like the desert and the pirate floor, whatever, is that I think a way they can make it work, and this is something that everyone hates when I say, is make it actually spooky. Because having that unique atmosphere to the room takes away from the fact that it's just a generic desert floor or a generic pirate themed floor. Like make it more. I mean, they're kind of doing that, but more.
Why do people not like when you say that? That's
Trust
so
me.
true.
Every single time
Should I not
make a video, every single time.
Oh no,
people hate it.
Maybe I just shouldn't get. I agree. I mean, that makes sense. I won't get involved.
You are starting a fire, my friend. If you even talk about that,
okay.
Because the thing is, whenever I talk about it, so many people are like, "Oh, you're just such a purist of the original. You don't want anything of Dark Moon in there."
I get it. Like, so it's kind of that sort of mindset.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I mean, I like all these new things that they're adding. I like the slam. I like the birds you pulled up. I like all that. I just don't like the brightness. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah. I think there's a lot to kind of decipher about that and why people feel that way and everything, but we can kind of touch we can touch on that another time or whatever. Overall though, I'm excited for the game. You're excited for the game. I think it's going to be awesome. So
yeah, and that's something I really want people to get as well, is that even though I rant about it so much, it's because I love it.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a reason you make so many videos about it. It's because you care about it and you want it to be good. That's the thing. You're not just doing this to make people mad.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want it to be good. I want it to be like the best version. And I do all these polls and everything to see what everyone wants, and I try to gather everyone. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. You'll run into
That's
that sort of stuff. I do. It's just part of it.
Oh, actually, hold on. Before we actually move on,
Yeah.
JJ actually has a pretty good point, and maybe something you can actually also do with us, because something that people have been talking, since I'm obviously Luigi's Mansion centric on my channel. Something people want on my channel is when Luigi's Mansion 3 comes out to do Scare Scraper with the viewers. Like do like live streams of Scare Scraper,
That's
and
cool.
I think that'd be very cool if you ever wanted to join in on that.
Absolutely. That would be so fun.
Yeah, we can have a Scare Scraper live stream and hopefully have no audio issues.
Yes, exactly. Hopefully there'll be some kind of alternative, right? Because the problem with them canceling Google Hangouts is there's no alternative to it. I mean, besides this, which is just combining softwares and doing it more kind of open source. So hopefully by then there'll be some alternate software to use. Cool. My power is still being eaten up.
That's crazy. What percentage are you at?
8.
8? You're at 8%? How the heck are you that low?
I started at 50. 50, and like that's fine. Okay, so what I'm actually thinking about doing is I think I might actually switch over to ace this whole setup and switch over to my laptop camera, because I have a webcam set up, so it'll probably eat up less battery. So I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and just do that right now.
Alrighty.
So it should be a pretty quick transition though, as I can just change this setting.
One could hope.
It won't be anything like last time. Let's see, FaceTime camera. Oh, hey, that's me.
Go.
Whoa!
That is you. Wow.
Wow, I'm very grainy. Okay,
Ooh,
then
I love the Zelda posters behind you.
Thank you.
The Majora's Mask. Oh.
So the next thing I'm gonna do is that's something else we could discuss. I'm looking up here. This looks so weird. Is Majora's Mask versus Ocarina of Time? Maybe we'll do that. Let's do that another day. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to. Oh man.
So I'm gonna disconnect this from the monitor, meaning I think it might make us both really gigantic. So we'll see. Just give it just a second.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Yep, it made us big. So I'll go ahead and just shrink everything now. Doo-doo-doo. Don't mind me. Neck 3. Cool.
Alrighty.
We're back. So hopefully my power won't get eaten up as quickly. So now you get to look at me at this slightly less beautiful camera angle.
Relatable.
Let's see, what do we got next? It just means, should we go ahead and turn off the Discord call?
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Me too. Okay, I just hung up.
Same.
I'm going to pull up the stream on my phone then, just so I can have it here, so I can look at the chat via this method.
All right, really quickly, before we go to the next point, JJ Adams says, what do you guys think of the Breath of the Wild sequel? Oh my god, it looks so cool.
Yeah.
The teaser trailer we saw at least.
Oh, the Breath of the Wild sequel? Yeah. So I could go on about that forever. I've only made like 2 videos about it. And I'm kind of maybe waiting until we learn more about the game. But then again, it's also fun speculating based off what little we know. But anyways, yeah, I'm so excited. Zelda, I think, might be my favorite Nintendo franchise, at least at the moment, because I've been getting back into a lot of the old Zelda games. So pumped. Because there's just so much they could do with it, so...
And it just seems like, I mean, like maybe I'm like sadistic or something, but I just love darker games.
Oh,
like,
me too.
Majora's Mask, like, was amazing. Luigi's Mansion, so it's like having another dark kind of
game.
Like, yes. And they said that, I think there was an article recently that said that they're really trying to address the flaws of Breath of the Wild, which there really weren't many. So I mean,
no, it's basically just the dungeons.
Yeah,
which wasn't even flaw as much as it was just like a not as good aspect.
Substitute,
in a sense, like. Yeah. Breath of the Wild 2 looks awesome.
Next topic.
Let's see. So, Nintendo Direct. Yeah, next up we have our thoughts on the Nintendo Direct from earlier this month. You want to go first?
Well, I think actually we might be able to go at the same time on this one, because I think we had relatively similar thoughts. That it was a good Direct, but not what we would have wanted. Like, because the final game that was the big announcement was Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered. Mm-hmm. And well, it's cool for the fan base because some people were decently excited for that. But it's not like the strong ending that the direct could have had to make it, you know.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was a great direct, but it just wasn't for me, because I'm not an
Yeah.
RPG guy, which is the majority of the direct, and then never played Xenoblade, which I think is also RPG. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It was so weird. It's actually pretty because it said the direct was gonna focus on Pokemon and Luigi's Mansion, but it spent like 1 minute on Luigi's Mansion and then like 3 on Pokemon and then like 5 or so on Animal Crossing.
yeah,
Like,
no,
oh,
it was. I like figured that it was like 57 seconds for Luigi's Mansion, like 1 minute and 27 seconds for like Link's Awakening. Like it was crazy. I think they might have just used that to get people interested, to
I think
then.
Animal Crossing would have drawn more people than Luigi's Mansion. Like they should have said Animal Crossing and
That's
Pokemon.
true. That's true, but like, yeah, and everything they showed about Animal Crossing though kind of felt like stuff we already had seen, but just being presented in a different way. Like there wasn't really anything new. And that's probably for good reason. They probably want to keep a lot to be surprised. Plus, the game doesn't release for like 5 months, whatever. But
Yeah,
so.
that's what made me think why like show off 5 minutes of it now.
Exactly.
Like when you have Link's Awakening and Luigi's Mansion that are like right around the corner, and then Pokemon right after that.
Yeah. Do you think there's gonna be a direct or any other kind of formal kind of presentation or press for Luigi's Mansion 3, or do you think it's just gonna by this point it's just gonna release and maybe have a launch trailer?
Being how, because like that's something like we actually talk about a lot on my Discord server is like, oh, are we gonna hear anything else? And I'm like, we know a lot, but at the same time we don't.
Yeah.
Like, we know a lot of the floor themes and all of that, and some of the common or portrait ghosts, whatever. But like a lot of things that are pretty much returning from like like we don't know how the boos are going to function. We don't know like how Luigi has like a device each game. Like it's like the Game Boy Horror, the first one, then the dual screen, whatever.
Yeah.
It has a Virtual Boy this time around. I don't know if you knew that. It's a Virtual Boy, but they haven't shown that off at all. So
I didn't know that. Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but like on the screen, it's like the map's all red and stuff, and the menu interface is red and black.
Dude,
that's why.
That's awesome. I love the Virtual Boy. I mean, it's terrible, but like that's why I love it. That's very cool.
Yeah,
okay.
They're calling it the Virtual Boo. So because they confirmed that back at E3, and
yeah,
I just don't know how Luigi's gonna carry it around because it's like a big
Boo.
giant.
That's interesting. That's perfect because then he can like look into it to look around the room, just like the Game Boy Horror.
Labo VR support with the
exactly. Hey, they're slowly putting it back, kind of putting the idea into people's minds. Maybe they'll do actual Virtual Boy 2. I was just gonna say something. Oh, also, I'm very excited because my laptop just went up 1%. So I think we're good. I got down to 6, but I think we're in the clear now.
Oh my lord, that was crazy. I'm like, you were at 8.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because like I didn't want people to freak out. I think we're fine now. Yeah.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the direct.
Yeah, I guess we're talking about the direct. Yeah, just good direct, but just not a good direct for me, or doesn't sound like for you either. But it sounds like a lot of people were excited by it, so that's great, for them.
Yeah, I think for me the best part was Banjo-Kazooie basically shadow dropping. That was like I bought that.
Really cool. That was great.
And the music. Oh my god, they have like almost every single song from Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's so great.
Nostalgia feels were right there. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then they also announced they did the Sakurai presentation after, which announced a Mii Fighter costume for what was it, Sans? Sans. So I've heard people say I actually say Sans, but I've heard people say Sans.
Maybe it depends on where you're from. I've always heard Sans.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I love Funky Tail. I don't know if you've ever played it, but
so I have never played it, but I love the music from it.
The music is so good.
Like I straight up listen to that music on Spotify, even though I never played the game, and I've always wanted to get into it. But Paige loves it, and David loves it too, and so I'm thinking about it. But I just recognize how big a deal that is. It's so cool.
And yeah, it's an RPG, like kind of like a turn-based kind of RPG, but it's like kind of different. But I beat it, and I've never really beaten an RPG before, so that's saying how good it actually is.
Nice.
So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way about like the Paper Mario games. Like those are the only RPGs I can really, or turn-based, you know. Yeah.
They're fun. I love Paper Mario.
And they're Mario, you know, I love the universe. They're funny too. They're really clever dialogue and everything. That's another topic. What's next for Paper Mario?
God.
Man, we're coming up with some video ideas here.
Yeah, I know.
All right, well, should we go ahead and move on to our next topic?
We should indeed.
CJ Astoria makes a good point. There was Pokemon, aka RPG. Yeah. Oh, Odyssey sequel?
Oof.
So that's one of the things I predicted actually for the Direct. Those of you might remember, I made a Nintendo Direct predictions video. The very first thing I said in the video was, "We're getting an Odyssey 2 announcement." Yeah, I was so wrong.
I don't think I'm one of the people, like, everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna come out next year." I'm like, I think it's gonna be a 2021 game.
What, Odyssey 2?
Odyssey 2.
Well, especially if Breath of the Wild 2 comes out next year. Not saying I think it will, but if it does, I don't think Odyssey would come out till... I think Odyssey wouldn't come out till at least a year after that.
Yeah, and people will say, "Oh, but Breath of the Wild and Odyssey 1 came out in the same year." But, like, you know, like, I don't think, like, with how it's scheduled, like, let's say if Breath of the Wild 2 were to come out on holiday, Mario Odyssey 2 is not coming out before that. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like,
Breath of the Wild 2 is a system seller, but so is Odyssey 2.
Yeah, Odyssey was some more than Breath of the Wild 2, to be honest. Odyssey surpassed Breath of the Wild a while ago.
Yeah. Just, they're both, I mean, I still don't know, like, yeah, I mean, Odyssey sequel is probably my most, like, the game I would want to happen most, you know, in terms of just, like, thinking about dream games, or not dream games, but, like, my most wished for game that I think is also possible, besides, like, maybe a 1,000 Year Door remaster, but, yeah, so I think that would be really great. Or Galaxy 3, but I want to see Odyssey 2, but I want them to redo kind of the structure of the game. I went back down to 5%. It's so scary.
Oh no.
The only thing I really didn't like about Odyssey was the structure. I didn't like how the pacing was and everything. It really needed a hub world, and it makes me so furious to this date that it didn't have one. Yeah,
I mean, there was the Odyssey, but it's not.
Yeah, it was a world map, if anything, you know.
It's not a plaza or a Peach's Castle or a Comet Observatory or anything like that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, because I don't know how long I'm going to last, to be honest.
Yeah, let's try to...
yeah.
Oh, interesting topic next.
Yes.
Mario Kart Tour.
Mario Kart Tour. So, tell me, have you played the game? How much of it?
I am basically waiting for the next cup to open.
Yes, same here. Yeah.
I did not think I'd get hooked to this game, but I am. I'm actually opening it right now. But yeah, it's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Rage-inducing at times. Like, I would get angry at the game, but...
Yeah. For sure.
Because it had the one thing it suffers from. In Mario Kart 8, the regular Mario Kart 8 had this as well, where if you were in first place, a lot of the time you'd only get a coin. So whoever is in second place is always basically guaranteed to get an item to attack you with.
Yeah, exactly.
So like they have item cups or item boxes right before the finish line. I would go through in first place. I would just get to 2 coins or 3 coins or 1 coin, whatever. And the person behind me would get a shell, hit me right behind the finish line, and then like everyone would come to me back.
I know, yeah. I hate that the coin is like an item at all in Mario Kart games. It makes me so mad.
Yeah, and I actually have a decent amount. Like, I have a little less than half of the drivers. I don't know if you can see that, but those.
Dang,
are
nice. I don't have as much as you.
Yeah, I've winning.
Yeah, no. So I've kind of been doing the same, where I've just been playing this game a ton, and it's weird because I enjoy it, and I really like the game because I enjoy playing it, but at the same time, I don't like the game. Because of basically everything about the game besides the core gameplay I don't like.
Yeah,
The
I can
fact that it's a
understand.
Mario Kart game on phones, that's awesome. That's something we've never had, and that alone is enough to get me to play it consistently. But okay, well, I'll just get the big one out of the way. The microtransactions is ridiculous. It is such
Yeah,
a ridiculous, gross thing for them to be doing, especially the whole subscription thing.
yeah, that's awful. That's
$5
inexcusable.
a month to get rare materials, whatever, and have 200cc is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a mode for the game hidden behind a paywall.
I
Like
know
that.
exactly, and that it's just crazy. And I also don't like the overall structure of the game too. How you have like there are so many different forms of currency, and I don't understand because you have the one like the box, the things like the pink purplish ones,
Rubies,
the
yeah.
rubies that you have to pay real money for, if you want to actually really get a lot of them, or you get coins, which you can get rubies with the coins, I guess. And then I don't. It's weird, and it's not structured like Mario Kart has been structured or should be structured, in my opinion. But again, it's a Mario Kart game for phones, and that's cool.
Yeah, something I don't personally like. There's things. Firstly, I wish. I mean, I know they're gonna add multiplayer and stuff later, but there's no way to like play a course that you want unless you have to go into the cups. Like, there's no
Yes.
like course selection. So you
There's
can
no
just play
time
a course.
trials or anything like
Yeah,
that. You just got to do it through the cups, which are just
yeah.
random.
And for those of you who don't know, like if you haven't played it yet, when you play a cup, each character has like a specific like you get a different number of item boxes, a different number of points to start. So you're incentivized to play as a certain character with certain cart. So it's
Yeah.
like you don't really get to choose your favorite character and just play Mario Kart.
No,
Choose your favorite
exactly.
course. And something else I've noticed is a lot of repeating courses.
Oh
Like
yeah,
cheap
they're
lagoons
milking.
they use
It's
a lot.
this game is milking its own content within the game.
Yeah, I played the beta test actually. I got to beta test this game because
Oh
it was only
wow.
on Android, and I got to beta
Ah.
test it. And well, firstly, I was pissed that nothing transferred over. I thought that some of the stuff that I got in the beta test would have transferred
Oh,
over,
that sucks.
but it didn't. But also, I got to play. I got to play the Luigi's Mansion DS track on the beta test, but I haven't gotten to play it here.
I know it's. So I haven't
And
gotten to
there's
play
other
that one
courses
either.
too.
Yeah, well, there's a ton of like real world kind of courses too. Like there's a Paris one, all sorts of stuff that I haven't gotten to play either. And it's just like,
Yeah, well, because what they're doing is they're like releasing it as the game goes on. Like if you haven't noticed, Luigi isn't a playable character. You have Mario, Yoshi,
well,
Peach,
there's
but no
also
Luigi.
we also don't have Rosalina or Wario or Waluigi.
Yep, they're gonna be released later on.
It's like what? Okay, it already makes me angry that they did that with. For example, I think Mario Tennis Aces is the best example of Nintendo being ridiculous with, just slowly releasing content afterwards. No one cares, that sort of deal. But why do that with a mobile game? That I guess there are reasons to do it with a mobile game.
To keep people hooked or interested.
It's just, but it I don't know. It also makes it feel like, yeah, I don't know. And then also, so who was it? Big Boss made a good point earlier. Since the fact that it is free, he wasn't surprised that there are microtransactions, and I agree with that. I was expecting there to be microtransactions, whatever. But the subscription thing is really what bothers me. Like paying $5 a month. That's just, it's weird, and it's kind of like, remember Wii Sports Club for the Wii U?
yeah.
It's like that, where they're trying to treat it like some kind of membership thing, and it's like, no, just let me buy and then play the game.
Yeah, because like microtransactions to me, I usually don't care about because like like if it's for certain characters, you can still I haven't paid for any of these characters. You
Yeah.
can unlock them while you play, and I'm like whatever. But like you can't unlock 200cc. You can't
Exactly.
unlock some of the other thing. You have to pay for it. And it's like
You have to pay
again, this is
$5 a
free
month.
game.
Pay just like a couple more dollars than that, and you get something like Netflix. And think about all you get from Netflix. Then you pay almost that amount of money, and you get to play a slightly faster thing, like track on
I mean,
Mario Kart for phones.
per year, it's 3 times more expensive than Nintendo Switch Online.
That's a great way to put it. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like for 3 times more than you'd be paying for Nintendo Switch Online. You
Yeah.
get,
No, and I agree, Ryan. What you just said is an amazing point. They should. I would have been okay if they did it like with Super Mario Run, where you can. It's free to play for a little while, and then you pay whatever, even if it's like $10-15 to have the whole game. That's fine. I personally was actually never. I never really disliked that. I was always okay with that with Super Mario Run. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but now all those people are seeing what they're doing with Mario Kart Tour and are saying, wait, no, just do it like you did in the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, and how can we get? I mean, I did mention this, but no multiplayer day one. I think
Oh,
that's a huge oversight.
and they trick you. They make it seem like you're playing online by making fake like real names.
Yeah, I don't know if they're fake though, because I literally had one
Oh, they
where
might be real names. That's true.
yeah, it might be like people's data, but at the same time, you can affect. It's
That's
not like time
yeah.
trials where they're like ghosts. Like you can affect them. No, it's weird because like I mean I saw a name on there that I'm like I don't think Nintendo would use
Actually,
that name. So,
yeah. Actually, well, Super Mario Run had the same thing where like you play against other actual people, but you're just kind of racing like a computer player that's just kind of got a skin of some real Nintendo account on it, just to kind of make it feel more inclusive or make it feel more whatever. So again,
yeah,
it's cool that it's Mario Kart on the iPhone, and I'm gonna keep grinding with it, and I know you probably will too, because like it's fun,
it's fun.
especially for us who love the series.
Yeah, it's a good time killer, really.
Oh, and another big thing, I don't like the fact that it requires you to sign into a Nintendo account when you get the game.
Yeah, it's really yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just baffling to me. It should be that option. You should be able to skip it, and that alone, I think that would turn a lot of just casual players away. Right? They get the app. Oh, I got to do this whole Nintendo thing. Delete. Right? So, yeah.
Yeah. I think they've definitely got lots of little issues, lots of things they need to fix.
Yep.
But
well, I guess we should move on to our next thing, unless
yeah, are you still at 5%?
I'm still at 5%, so I haven't gone down any further. I lowered my brightness a bit, which probably means I'm pretty dark in the camera, because usually I use my screen brightness to brighten my face, but it's worth it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's see.
Oh, here we go. Ring Fit Adventure.
Ring Fit Adventure. So I haven't made a single video or said anything about this whole thing, because I still don't know what I think about it. How about you?
I actually, it was kind of funny. I was recording a video, and I got a notification on my phone while I was recording saying, like, what? Like, Nintendo's new announcement, whatever. And I was like, what the heck is this? And I was watching it, like, during my video. Like, I just
turned into a reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I obviously cut it all out because the video wasn't even Nintendo related. But,
oh, wow.
but either way, like, I was, like, really confused. I never played Wii Fit, which is what a lot of people are comparing it to. I think it looks cute. Like,
yeah. I like what they're doing with it. They're kind of turning it into like a fitness RPG, which I think is really neat with like the world map, and then you got battles and everything. Once again, not an RPG guy, but still, well, I'm getting a little laggy here. I apologize if the stream's getting a little laggy. Hopefully the audio's still fine.
I can hear you fine, so.
Okay, cool. Anyways, I think it's cool. It's funny because it seems like Nintendo can't go like a time without introducing some weird new wacky thing that seems like it's destined to not work, but then somehow ends up sort of working because it's Nintendo. Like
Labo.
This, exactly. Labo. Labo VR, which is especially bizarre. Whatever. Wii Fit, like the balance board and all that sort of thing, it's pretty funny, but I'm down.
Yeah.
It seems neat.
I think the one thing this game needs, because for some reason, when I looked at the game, for some reason I thought arms. Like arms was the first thing that came to my mind.
Oh, the visual style.
Design. Yeah.
Absolutely. No,